And we are live. Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining me here for this most important session today. And the title of the session is The Most Sovereign and Effective 5D Leadership Program Available Globally. Now, it is absolutely unique, this program that I'm offering. I've actually looked all around the world and I've seen that nowhere is offering a program of this nature and certainly of this substance. So, my name is Glenn Campbell. I'm the founder of the Quantum Conscious Leadership Institute, and I'm delighted to be here today, and I'm delighted that you're here with me to explore the opportunity of becoming the new breed of 5D leader. And of course, isn't that what we need moving into our new world? So let's begin today. I want to begin by saying a very, very warm welcome to you all. I treasure your time and I value your time as you do. And so I'm going to keep this session to around 60 minutes. It may be a little longer because I've added a few things that I'd like to talk to you about today, share with you. And of course, one of those things is the special offer that I've been alluding to. Now, this is my new 6-module project leadership mastery course. What could be more important now if you're moving into these coming events, if you have the inspiration, the passion to contribute back to our world, to the rebuilding of our world? You've simply got to have the skills and capabilities to know how to do that. And my offer today of the 6-module Project Leadership Mastery course is a crucial part of that inside the context of quantum conscious leadership. And there's a Q&A at the end as well, and I'd really love to hear any questions that you may have for me on anything that I present today, anything about leadership or anything about this new course that I have developed, which I must say is spectacular. It is a new version of what I've done before for many years, and it is sensational in its delivery. So let's get underway today. This essential 5D leadership training that I'm offering will most effectively overcome confusion, stress, and purposelessness. It's a big word, isn't it? A lot of syllables there. And so these are the key things that really plague humanity. Is people are confused, they don't know who they are or why they're here, they're not clear on that. That of course creates a great deal of stress and disease states and leads to a life of purposelessness, just going from one event to the next, one day to the next. But we really, through this leadership, this 5D leadership coaching, through the Quantum Conscious Institute, is to take you into a new quantum reality. And that's a whole new way of being. That new way of being is, centers around competence, confidence, and control. It centers around you being the infinite, divine, sovereign creator of your own reality. And that's what we're all here and capable of doing. And so this course is really all about helping you to do that. In the next 60 minutes, you'll discover the facts about our grim reality. And this is not me being negative, it's me being a realist, because we've just got to simply know what we're facing to be able to be equipped to overcome it. And what we're facing is pretty dire in many respects. So I'm going to share with you some of my insights into that today. Then I'm going to move out of that into the really optimistic discovery of a proven way to extraordinary success, but you must absolutely work on your skills and capabilities to do that. I'm going to share with you my credentials to lead this unique 5D leadership program, and I'm going to offer you a one-time high-value offer that really closes forever with notifications. And so as soon as we get notifications, which effectively could be any minute, any day now, this is what the intel is leading us to believe. I will no longer do this live presentation, and I will withdraw the offers of lifetime founding membership and also the leadership project leadership mastery program. So stay with me through this time and let me share with you all the insights that are going to help you. But we'll begin with this reality check. So again, please stay with me because some of this is pretty harsh, but it is just a fact of the matter of what we're facing in our reality right now. There is a misconception that, once we go through the RV process and get our funds, once we go through the MedBed process and, our health is back to perfection again, that's all we need to succeed. And of course, that's simply not the case. That is an essential foundation, but we need vastly more skills and capabilities to move into our projects and be successful with them as we move forward. A lot of people believe that, the RV and the med beds is the finish line. I keep hearing that expression. We've got to make it to the finish line. It's not a finish line. It really is the starting line. And in fact, there's no line at all. It is just events that are going to happen that will equip us, that will provide us with the resources we need to do the work we're really passionate about doing, that we're destined to do, that we choose to do. And so there is no line really. And if in fact there is a line, I'd say it's really the starting line because that's when the real work begins. Next, the White Hats have actually come out and said that they believe 95% of all people will lose everything in the first 2 years after the RV. And why is that? It's not because they don't have faith in people. It's because people are choosing not to skill up. They're choosing not to get the capabilities they need to ensure that they move into this new realm, this new 5D reality successfully, because they're still holding on to the old skills, the old capabilities, the old limiting beliefs. Further with this reality that we're currently facing, historically, research has shown that 98% of all lotto winners are bankrupt in the first 2 years. Now, why is that? It's because they simply don't know how to manage money. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. They don't have the money mindset, or they don't have the energy that they're vibrating at that is aligned with the energy of money. And that's very important as well. 60% of all businesses have failed in the first 3 years, 35% struggle, and only 2% succeed. Now, this is a historical reality. Over 60% of all businesses, it's more like 98% of all businesses, either fail or struggle in the first 3 years. Now, why is that again? Well, it's the same reason as I've talked about before. It's because people are simply not skilled up. They don't have the skills and capabilities. They don't have the awareness, the consciousness. They don't have the vibrational energy that they need to be able to run their businesses, run their projects successfully in a sustained way. And so these are skills and capabilities we really simply must have. And that's why I'm here today. I'm offering you the opportunity to get those skills and capabilities through my Quantum Conscious Leadership Institute. And so there's some confronting facts about new wealth as well. And so when people come into money, there's this thing called sudden wealth syndrome. Now, that simply explained is when people don't value the money and squander it. Now, why don't they value it? It was because they haven't had to trade their time or their skills or their energy to get that money, and they don't feel as though they earned the money. And so therefore they don't value it. So easy come, easy go, right? And unfortunately, this is a very real thing, and it leads people to uncontrolled spending. People also have a tendency to, once they get wealth, is they like to tell everybody about it. And that leads to the family, the friends, and people who you don't even know asking you for money and giving you all sorts of stories. And that again leads to unsustainable gifting. People give a lot of money away to charities, and again, in a very short period of time, they find that all that money that they came into is very quickly gone. Another key thing that people are facing is the discipline around keeping the NDA or the non-disclosure agreement secret. Now, we're all going to more than likely sign NDAs when we go through the RV process and sign NDAs with the med beds. And an NDA, in its simplest nature, is really you've been through this experience, you simply can't talk about it to anybody. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people break that NDA because they take people into their confidence. And the unfortunate reality of that is the money will be revoked when you break an NDA around the RV. And that will happen to a number of people. People don't choose the right fiduciary. Now, there's a difference between wealth managers and fiduciary advisors. And fiduciary is what you really need over and above a wealth manager. They have very different ways of going about it. And of course, in the Quantum Conscious Leadership, we give you an understanding of the difference between these and also how to choose the right one. And if you do not have a wealth manager or a fiduciary, which is ideal, a lot of valueless investments are made and money is lost. Again, if you don't have the skills and capabilities to run your projects, to lead your life in a new realm, in the new 5D realm, projects are poorly led and managed. And what will happen as a consequence to that is people leave, there's project failure, money is lost, and reputation is damaged, and it's pretty hard to come back from that, both physically in a resource sense and also psychologically and vibrationally. Now, this leads to these things, any one of or all of these things leads to significant stress, anxiety, and identity crisis. And again, this is me drawing from research, from history, where this happens. There's also these things that happen is people believe that they've suffered enough, they've done enough, they've gone through enough to get to the RV and to get to the med beds. And if they feel that, that leaves them unprepared. It's not a good state to be because you're at the point where you say, I don't need to do anymore. But that's simply not the case, as we're talking about. There's a lot of people who are quite cynical, sarcastic, skeptical. They feel they know better. We see a lot of that in the channels, don't we? Those people will also, because they're not prepared to change, they're not open to change, they'll also be unprepared. There's a lot of people who are just uninformed, who are still living in the old 3D reality and are very comfortable in that reality, and they're simply not seeing what's going on in the world today. They don't have the awareness around it. They don't have the expanded consciousness around this, and that will leave them unprepared as well. Now, there's a lot of people who are going to suffer from that, and they think this won't happen to me. And of course, that's not reality, is it? They're the first to fail, those people. The people that are unprepared and the people that are suffering from those are the first to fail. Now let's flip the switch, shall we? And now move into the very positive side of this, and that is that we need to skill up. We need to step up and skill up. We don't want to be sidelined and miss out because we haven't done this work. And now here's the great news. Really great news that you have the opportunity here today to rapidly instill competence, confidence, and control. And let me take you through what that means. There's a unique pathway to that, and I'm providing that pathway. And again, I've looked around the world, and it's not as though I'm being competitive. I'm certainly not. I would love to see a whole lot more people just like me offering different ways to help people to become leaders, different ways to help people to become equipped to move into this new reality with the right vibration, the right awareness, the right consciousness, the right skills and capabilities so that they actually can be incredibly successful. Because isn't that what we want? We want a world full of leaders, a world full of people who are moving through using their resources, their health and the finances to lead projects that really help us to build our new world. So I am providing you with a way out of that old world into the new world where you can thrive and succeed. Now let's keep going with this. So this is a world, a way to find your truth. And isn't the truth a very hard thing to find at the moment? Because most people are looking in the wrong places. They're looking externally for somebody to provide them with the truth. But at the Quantum Conscious Leadership Institute, we don't do that. We actually slow down and we become quiet. We become still. and we go within, because when you go within, that's when you find the answers. That's when you nurture your intuition, and your intuition provides you with the answers, provides you with the truth. And once we learn how to do that, we can help others to do the same. And so this is a unique pathway to become the new breed of 5D leader. And that will take you into this high performance, heart-led conscious flow state. Now, let me say that again. It's really important. I've chosen these words very carefully. High performance, heart-led conscious flow. Now, wouldn't you like to be in that state 24/7? Because that state is a state of complete fulfillment, meaning, resourcefulness, calmness, and success. And you'll get with the Institute as a part of this lifetime access to world's best coaching. And that's very important as well. We'll be in your corner. We'll be there backing you, standing behind you. When you need us, you'll have access to us. You'll have access to that most important coaching and support. And also from a vibrational and psychological point of view, is very important as well, because you're not sitting there going, I'm alone. I've got nobody to help me. That will not be the case. Now, who is this opportunity for? Well, it's for people who want to play a role building heaven on earth. And there's a lot of different ways that people are thinking about doing that. There's the RV. People want to actually use the RV and the funds for the RV to go through that process, to lead projects, to invest in projects. I've heard a lot of people saying, well, I'm not going to lead my own projects, but I will invest in other people's projects. Well, you need skills and capabilities to be able to do that as well. And there's a lot of people who just want to live as their higher self. Well, if you're any one of those people, you are certainly in the right place at the right time. So stay with me. Now, my credentials for leading this course, this extraordinary course that I'm offering people the opportunity to participate in. Well, go back to my early days. I have a degree in commerce with a major in marketing. And I've got to tell you, I only learned two things from that. One is how to think, and the second thing is how to do research. Because when I actually came out of that course into the real world and I started trying to apply it, and this was from one of the best universities in Australia, I started trying to apply this stuff. People laughed at me. People in the real world actually said to me, Glenn, that stuff doesn't work. And then I went through those experiences and I found that you simply cannot apply what you learned. In the 3-year intensive honors degree course, I simply didn't learn anything, but I did learn how to think and how to do some research. I have a master's in NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, and in hypnotherapy, and they serve me well as well. I have 30 years of experience, intense experience in brand building, business strategies, communication strategies in world-leading firms like Saatchi and Leo Burnett. Now, you may not know these companies, but the Saatchi is considered to be the leading brand strategy company on the planet. And when I was working there, they were turning over about $6 billion. And I was in one of the best offices in the world, the leading offices in the world. I also work with Leo Burnett, another Chicago-based or US-based company. They were an $8 billion company at the time, and I was the chief executive. I worked my way up to being the chief executive of the Asia Pacific operation. And now, of course, in all that time, I have extensive leadership training. We would do 3 or 4 key leadership trainings every year. In fact, once I became the chief executive, I had a budget for training. And I'll share with you in my last year what that was. It was $125,000 that I had in my budget to spend on my own leadership training. And of course, I took advantage of that. I have 15 years as a chief executive of 4 successful multi-million-dollar companies. And once you're in that chair and the buck stops with you, everything changes. And I can tell you, I learned very quickly that I strived for decades to get that title and to get into that chair and get that responsibility. And only a couple of weeks afterwards, I sat there and thought, why did I do this? Because it's a very difficult place to be honest. These 3D this 3D leadership world I was in was literally killing me. Of course, taking the salary that I was taking, working with the organizations I was working with, they literally said they owned me. We own you, Glenn. I've actually heard them say that to me. I was working over anywhere between 80 and 100 hours a week. My health was suffering. My marriage was suffering. Everything was suffering. And so I simply had to get out of there. So I started my own company called Brand Heart. And again, I went into brand strategies, communication strategies, and working with leaders and leadership teams. Then I developed my unique approach to heart-led leadership, 17 years of that, coaching leaders from all over the world across 4 continents. I realized that I had to evolve this leadership training I was doing, this heart-led training I was doing, and elevate it up. And that's why I shifted out of heart-led leadership training. I didn't leave it behind, it's still a core element, but into quantum conscious leadership, because I knew that had to be evolved for the new world. And I can tell you, hardly any leadership trainers or coaches on this planet are talking about this at all. I keep looking, but they're not. They're still stuck in the old 3D leadership ways. And my thinking led me to create the Quantum Conscious Leadership Institute. Now, I did that over 4.5 years ago. So what is that all about? Well, initially that was me working on myself, developing the program and applying that program to myself. And I'm quite happy to share with you what my particular vision is, my ascending vision. I am the light that awakens people to higher self-realization by inspiring them to be in heart-led conscious flow. That's why I get out of bed every morning. That's why I apply myself every day. I utilize my time well and my energy well to continue developing programs and coaching and supporting techniques that help people to realize their own higher self potential and way of being. And so you can see this is why I'm here doing what I'm doing. I'm actually fulfilling my lifetime, key vision and purpose. And as a part of that, I'm developing my skills and capabilities around PQ, IQ, EQ, and SQ. Now, what is that? PQ, physical intelligence. You've got to be fit, strong, healthy, and powerful to be a great leader. IQ, mental intelligence, the ability to use this incredible gift we've got, that is our brain and our mind. EQ, well, that used to be called emotional intelligence. I've renamed it energy intelligence, because everything is energy. And SQ, what do you think that is? Well, SQ, of course, is spiritual intelligence. PQ, IQ, EQ, and SQ. And developing that as a part of being a leader leads you to this incredibly powerful state called sovereignty. This is a very big word, and it's an incredibly powerful state of being. And we want all leaders, as we move forward, to be sovereign. If you get a moment, take the time to look up that word and see what it really means. It's very powerful. But a key element of what that means is freedom. Now, that's freedom to think, freedom to feel, freedom to vibrate, freedom to move and act and do as you choose, that follows your divine vision and reason for being, your calling. So what else did I develop from this course? Well, of course, you can see that I developed clarity and coherence of my true higher self vision and purpose, something very few people are experiencing at the moment or struggling with. The focus, of course, was on my own sovereignty, my ability to be grateful for everything, to be in peace, joy, harmony, and abundance, to overcome challenges in a calm and resourceful heart flow state, very important, and to manifest passionate intentions through the ease of vibrational alignment. So it's not about chasing anymore. It's about attracting. It's about vibrational alignment with what you passionately intend. Now, I have found that every founding member, and I have currently around 180 founding members who are experiencing similar results on this journey already. You can as well, if you so choose. but the choice, of course, is yours, what pathway you choose to go on. Now, we're not here to tell you what pathway you should go on. We're here to help you to remember your unique pathway, your reason for being, your true higher self, so that you can pursue that with our help. And so what is this pathway? Well, there's 4 key programs. Of course, there's the Project Leadership Mastery course, which is my new offering, which I'm offering as a part of becoming a quantum conscious leader and joining the Institute. There's the Core Leadership Program, the Quantum Conscious Leadership Program. There's the Quantum Conscious Operations Leadership Program, very important. And of course, the Quantum Conscious Financial Leadership Program. Now, this is a comprehensive set of learning and training and insights and wisdom that are going to equip you to be able to move forward with tremendous success in your life, with awareness of self and surroundings, with an expansion of consciousness, and with, really high vibrational energy in everything you do, which of course is absolutely crucial. So let me talk for a moment about the Project Leadership Mastery course. This unique method provides the ultimate framework for brand building success. Now, I use those words very carefully. A lot of people are talking about projects. We'll talk to you about why shifting your thinking out of a project and into a brand is so crucial. And I'll share with you why that's important. Now, this is about success in creating and delivering your passion project. It commences upon joining the Institute via automated email. So you'll get an email with a link, and that will take you to a training session conducted by me. And you'll get 1 per week over a 6-week period. And for each specific week, you'll also get a section of the workbook that relates to that specific module and that specific training. And I'll go through that in a minute. Then at the end of the course, you'll get the full workbook that you can go back and review. And there will be live weekly question and answer sessions. Of course, there'll be a lot of questions that you'll have around this course. And weekly, I'll invite you to a live session where you can ask me whatever questions you like around that, and you'll get answers. So let's go through the content of this Project Leadership Mastery pathway, this course. Week 1 is to get overall clarity of your why, what, and how. Now, this is very important. Why are you doing this? What is your passion? What are you going to offer people, and how are you going to go about doing that? And so it's really conceptualizing the intention that you have for your project, the scope, being able to scope the feasibility of that, and validating that with your feeling, your vibrational energy, your intuition. Week 2 is being able to assess essential foundations, challenges, definitions, and methods. And that's where I kind of help you to understand what the context of your project should be and how you should move forward in that project. Week 3 is the conditions. Now, you need to undertake a macro and micro analysis of the conditions in which you're operating. You need to know the game that you're playing, the field that you're playing on, and everything that goes with that. And I've made, by the way, this may sound a little complicated, but I've actually made it really simple. I've taken away all the complexity and really made this very simple to comprehend and understand. Now, week 4 is about clarity of project vision, purpose, and promise. And this is why I call it a brand, because great brands, and a lot of organizations don't do this, but great brands make promises that elicit compelling, positive, emotional responses. Consistency. That's what a brand is. And of course, we want your project to be a brand where you're making promises and you're delivering on those promises and or exceeding them. We want to understand the rational and emotional drivers and connectors. And also, I have a project naming methodology that I'll share with you so you can name your projects and you can really enjoy having great names for your projects that create a certain vibrational energy around the project as well. That's very important. Week 5 is all about connection. This is the 7 essential elements for powerful connection inside your prospects, inside your target audience groups, or the people that you want to connect with, both internally and externally. This is we'll provide you with an overview of the 7 leadership styles and how you can shift and change in leadership styles to suit the occasion, and the optimal, how to achieve optimal cultural cohesion, how you develop a vibrational or energetically coherent culture. And week 6 is all about change, and this is all about how you continually grow and progress. So conducting holistic reviews and conducting operations AARs. Now, what's an AAR? It's something I borrowed from the Navy SEALs, Special Forces, and it's called an after action review. And that really helps you to go on this path of continual growth and progression, which of course is what you want to do. So that gives you an idea of the 6 modules: calling, context, conditions, creation, connection, and change. The 6 C's of leadership mastery that you really need to know about. Now, what does my core leadership program consist of? Well, I've already shared with you that there's the core program, the operations leadership program, and the financial leadership program. Now let's go into a little bit more about PQ, IQ, EQ, and SQ, which are core elements of being able to grow and develop as a quantum conscious leader. Physical intelligence, being able to know how to create the right nutrition, the right movement for your own body type, and this understanding of epigenetics, which is all about using your mind to heal your body. Now, this is the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, and if you've read his book called The Biology of Belief, it is an astounding insight into how your mind actually controls your body and how you can heal yourself just with your mind. If you haven't read that book, I'd really recommend it. It's a great read. Then there's IQ, well, mental intelligence. This is the insights into neuroscience, and I provide these for you as leaders. You need to understand how the brain works and how to be more efficient in your use of your brain, your thinking, and understanding between the difference of knowledge and wisdom. Now, a lot of people are talking about knowledge as the end state. Once you have the knowledge, you're equipped. Well, that's not the end state. Knowledge is a stepping stone. It's the application of knowledge in real life that actually provides you with wisdom. And don't we want a lot more wise leaders rather than knowledgeable ones? There's a lot of knowledgeable people on this planet who simply move from failure to failure. We don't need that anymore. We need to understand that you have inherent psychic abilities, which are extraordinary, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Now let's move to EQ, energy intelligence. Of course, it's important to understand quantum physics, which is this new science. It's only 100 years old, which has disproven much of the old Newtonian physics, which is the old science. Of course, some of it is still very relevant, but we're moving into a new world of understanding that we're all energy and we're all energetically connected, or as they say in quantum physics, energetically entangled. And so while we're individuals, we're all part of a whole, which is really important to know. It's important to understand intuition and gratitude and the role they play in helping you to move forward, to accelerate your ability to move forward. The role of intention and manifestation is important as well, because we are all infinite, divine, sovereign creators. We are all people that can actually design our own experiences and our own reality, and that's important as well to know how to do that. And there's a lot of conjecture around that, and a lot of people are doing the wrong things and they're not getting results and they're giving up. And of course, we don't want that to happen. Then, of course, there's SQ, which is spiritual intelligence, the ability to understand that we are all I am consciousness. If anything's real in this universe, in this cosmos, it is that we are consciousness. And the understanding that is very important. To understand that you are a creator and that everything you experience is of your creation. So you can't look outside yourself and say, they made me do this, or this is what I am as a result of somebody else. It's not the case. Everything comes from you. And so it's important to be able to understand, to take responsibility of that. And of course, we'll go into, what the dimensions are. This whole thing, this big subject right now, ETs and extraterrestrial beings. Who are they? And what role are they going to play in how we move forward? What's this thing called the cosmos? What is it? Again, a lot of people don't understand where we are and what we live in and how we are a part of something much, well, in fact, infinitely larger than what we are. And so, of course, this is the core of the leadership program. This quantum conscious leadership program will assist you to develop capabilities of clarity, consciousness, your intuition, your intuitive powers, your ability to understand energy and to control your own energy, your ability to connect, to be creative, to be productive, to be able to do more in less time and with less effort. I can tell you that I literally work a couple of hours a day on my work. And in those couple of hours, I can produce extraordinary things in a very short amount of time. It's because I know how to do it. Now, this is what we will teach you to do as well. And that will lead to you manifesting extraordinary things. And that will then lead you to these psychic abilities, these I am consciousness abilities, which we all are capable of: clairvoyance, levitation, psychointuitive, and so on, energetic healing. These are very important skills and capabilities that we need to nurture and need to know how to develop and use. And now what I want to do is take a little break from that and share with you some little known but very powerful insights. So what's the first one? What is leadership? If you look out there, you'll find literally hundreds of definitions from everybody. Now, I've been in this game of leadership. I've been a chief executive. I've sat in the chair. I know what's involved in it. And I've developed my own definition. And that is quantum conscious leaders are free, and that means sovereign, to realize the joy of source self and divine reason for being while inspiring others to do the same. That to me is what leadership really is. What is consciousness? So again, a lot of talk about this. Well, my definition of consciousness is this: consciousness is, was, and always will be. It is a divine expression of the infinite power of love, creation, energy, and connection. Very important to know and understand that. Now, how do you elevate your energy? There's a lot of talk about this, in terms of going into these events that we're going into. But you really need to be in a state of high vibrational energy all the time, don't you? Not just for specific events or situations or occurrences. And so what's an easy way to do that? Well, go into gratitude. Gratitude is the same vibration of love, 528 hertz per second. And so gratitude is a very high vibrational state. And Dr. Joe Dispenza, I borrowed this from him, he calls it the ultimate state of receivership. And so when you're in a state of gratitude, your manifestations rapidly happen in a far more accelerated way. And so gratitude, very underestimated, but very powerful. And that's how you can stay in a high vibrational state. And especially when things are going tough, when things are challenging, it's very important to just sit down and say, well, what is it I'm grateful for? What have I got here? And they don't need to be big things. They can be just very small things. And it's a cathartic experience if you actually write it down. And so now let me share with you some more insights. The 5 C's to extraordinary results. C number 1 is capability. Isn't this what we're talking about today? It's your skills and capabilities around a whole variety of different things. Being able to attract the right people and put them in the right roles. This is core to success. And a lot of people get this wrong because they get what I call, recruitment fatigue. And I suffered from this myself, whereas like, I'm sick of reading CVs. I'm sick of interviewing people. It's too hard. They're all saying the same things. It's like they've all read the same internet site to create their CV, and they're all saying the same things to me where there's no individuality. And I got fatigue. And so what happens with fatigue is that you say, you know what, just get anybody and put them in the chair. And of course, that's a very poor decision to make as a leader, because then you've got the wrong people in the wrong role, and you pay dearly for that. So we need to know and understand how to do that, to align those people with the true higher vision, purpose, and energy. Now, of course, they're going to have their own vision. That's very important, but they will also share the vision as members of your team. There's commitment. We need to rally around that shared vision, and the leader needs to lead by example. It's not so much what you say, but what you do that's crucial to help people to align with you. We need to empower people to take total responsibility, not to hold them accountable. There's a very big difference between the two. We need to go into co-creation, redefine failure as learning. I mean, of course, we all make mistakes. I've made some incredible mistakes in my life where they're absolutely jaw-dropping, where you sit there and go, how am I going to recover from this? Well, that was my greatest learning experiences. That has helped to shape me into who I am today. And so we are here on this planet to learn. And through our learning experiences, we develop and we grow and we progress. So failure is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. We want to entrust people to become fearless creators. We want to help people to learn how to collaborate, co-create, and cooperate, and allocate resources to ensure that that happens. And then, of course, there's consistency of vision. The leader needs to have real clarity around that vision and to be consistent. And I always say that great leaders are great storytellers around their vision. And telling stories is what emotionally engages the team and people into what you do and how you do it. And that's what develops loyalty. That's what develops connection. Very important. So there's the 5 C's of extraordinary success. Now, if you did just those, you'd be on the road to being to developing projects, to developing a life that is littered with, intentional manifestation, results, performance, success, and so on. So now let's do a bit of a review. As a part of my core 5D leadership offering, and this is aligned with but separate to the project Success Mastery program, these things work together. The core leadership program, which is included as well, will help you to understand how to move into the RV meeting and get, an extraordinary outcome. So I treat that as a separate subject, and I've actually done video training on that. May include that in the Q&A as well, because a lot of people are still not clear about that. So I help you to get clarity about how to move into that experience and get an optimal outcome. There's the core leadership program. This is really all about remembering and being your true higher self and being able to vibrationally align with that, be coherent with that. The operations leadership program, this is a joyful path to imaginative project creation and direction. The other project mastery I'm offering is a more detailed version of that. Then there's the financial leadership. We all need to know and understand how to be able to attract financial wealth and manage it and multiply it. And of course, that's what that program is all about. So what is the magical essence of what I'm offering today? Quantum is all about energy. Everything is energy. And I say to the leaders all the time, when you master energy, you will master everything. And it's your own energy that you need to master. There's consciousness. It's all about being visionary. It's all about understanding, who you really are and why you're here. Those 2 questions that have plagued humanity for time immemorial. You will have clarity on that. And that's what will elevate your consciousness. And then, of course, there's leadership, which is all about creation. We are here to be infinite, divine, sovereign creators, and that is so important. And so it's not about destruction. It's not about, this idea of, constantly diminishing who we are and why we're here. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to create. That's a very powerful aspect of being a leader. These are the essential success elements that we need to know and understand. Now, let me share with you what my vision for the Quantum Conscious Leadership Institute is, which you'll want to know about should you choose to be a founding member. Well, I want to be able to develop the latest interactive delivery technology. Now, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be holographic technology. So imagine being a part of the Institute and getting all the training and the teaching and the programs delivered to you through holographic technology and in your own language. Of course, that's very important. A lot of people haven't joined the Institute because they don't speak English. They speak Russian or French or Italian or German. And they literally say, well, while you're delivering your projects in English, I can't take part. Well, there'll come a time post the RV when I'll have the resources to be able to say we're going to stream them in your language, which is going to make the learning experience so much better. We will have access to on-world and off-world masters, best of breed people who are going to help in the creation and the evolution of the programs. There'll be online coaching with masters. Can you imagine Acturians, Palladians, or Syrians, or Andromedans sharing their views of leadership, quantum conscious leadership, as well as a part of this program? This will happen. I can see it. There'll be in-person events at high energy exotic locations. So imagine doing a 3-day leadership event, project mastery event in Patagonia or at the pyramids of Giza, where there's these energetic vortexes and where the ley lines intersect. Very important. So as a founding member, you'll be invited to those. You won't have to pay for them. You'll pay to get there and leave, but you will not pay for the event. You will not pay for anything that happens at the event. So all your food, your accommodation, everything is paid for by the Institute. That is a part of our humanitarian work, giving back to our leaders. There'll be intimate, immersive learning experiences at my Ascension Sanctuary. Now I'm going to build that. So I've already picked out the land. I already know what the design will look like, and Foundation members will be invited to have those intimate experiences at my Ascension Sanctuary as well. And so what is this special offer that I'm opening for you? Now I'm going to give you the opportunity to join if you so wish. So I'm starting this offer now. What I'm offering you today is my new Project Leadership Mastery course. Now that is getting into the detail of how to run a project, how to develop a brand, which is your project. It includes lifetime founding membership. You will not find this anywhere on this planet where somebody has the credentials that I do, the experience that I have to be able to develop these kinds of relevant and meaningful courses, this kind of leadership training and coaching and support. It is unrivaled, unmatched. And that's not me, again, being competitive. It's just being a realist. I just don't see this anywhere else on the planet. And it's only available before notifications, which could be happening any minute, any day. So this is an opportunity for you to be a part of something that is much bigger. And it's just a one-time investment of USD 749. Now I can tell you, in my old 3D world, if I was to offer these courses to leaders, it would be over $100,000 US. No problem, and they would pay it. I've done it. I've done this and offered it to leaders, and they have paid me that kind of money without blinking, because this is the kind of training I'm offering. Now, of course, I can't offer that kind of training to people now because the vast majority of people simply don't have the resources. And so this is what I believe is incredibly fair investment for the new Project Leadership Mastery course, and included lifetime founding membership that includes everything I've talked about today. What are the benefits? Create and execute projects successfully. That's a 6-week module course. Optimize the RV experience and outcomes. Get a jump start to leadership effectiveness. Get extraordinary leadership insights and methods. Interactive teaching that will accelerate progression. Now that interactive teaching is the holographic stuff that I'm talking about. At the moment, it's a little more restricted because we just simply don't have the resources to do that. 5D leadership prowess. Move into the 5D world as a 5D leader. You'll invest once and never again, and there's lifetime support from the Institute. They're all the benefits. And so what is this offer? Summarized again. Well, of course, there's responsibility from you. You have to show up. I can't do the work for you. Nobody else is going to do the work for you. So it requires you to take 100% responsibility to embrace everything that I'm offering you and to learn from it. There's Project Leadership Mastery course plus the PDF. There's the RV optimization. That's group training plus all the documents I provide you that you need in that meeting. You've just got to fill them out, which is very easy. All the core programs. There'll be Q&A training sessions and workbooks. You'll get free access to new programs as we evolve, Zoom calls and events. There will be a program of reward for people who are applying themselves. Now, what's that reward? I will simply refund your membership fee. Now, that's the USD 749. And post the RV, you may say to me, Glenn, that's not very much money compared to what I got in the RV. Well, it could be a great lunch for you and the team, but it's not about the money. It's about the gesture, the reward, and the recognition for the work that you're doing to improve yourself. And as a part of that, the Institute will be looking for high performers inside the program to invest in their programs if they're open to the idea of having the Institute as an investment partner. And what are the current leadership alternatives? Well, I had a lot of fun doing this research. I went back to Harvard, Stanford, and London Business School. These guys are all teaching old, useless 3D leadership programs, and all of their curriculums are pretty much the same. It's extraordinary when you look at them. They use a little different wording, a little different structure, but they're all offering the same thing. Now, these are advanced high executive programs. So Harvard, a 3-month full-time, part-time course for only USD $57,000. Thank you, Harvard, for providing a leadership program that simply does not work. Stanford are doing the same thing. It's a 5-month program, full-time and part-time. And this one is $89,000 USD. Now, are you comparing that to the 749 that I'm offering for quantum conscious leadership, 5D leadership, to become the new breed of 5D leader? Then there's London Business School. My God, 4 weeks full time for 54,000 US dollars. I mean, these guys are a merciless ripoff. Doing this kind of training takes you backwards, not forwards. And I believe these approaches are the cause for much of the devastation we're currently experiencing in our world. And so let's look at the summary of what I'm offering today. You will not find another leadership program like this or offer like this anywhere worldwide. The Project Leadership Mastery program, the Quantum Conscious Leadership program, the Core Leadership Training, the Quantum Conscious Operations Leadership and Financial Leadership programs. Now, there's 4 key programs that are the initial offer. This is just the beginning of a lifetime of leadership training that you will need to constantly progress through this 5D reality and beyond. So we're offering you exclusive and limited foundation membership and access to the Project Leadership Mastery course. And this offer closes forever once we get notifications, which could be any moment. So if this is resonating with you in any way whatsoever, please join me, join the Institute and get the benefit of these programs. And so why am I doing this? Well, clearly, I think you guys, all of you that are here today, are absolutely amazing. You've retained your faith in the RV and the med beds. You've retained your focus on your ability to contribute to humanity as we move forward. And that makes you quite an amazing and unique person, a rare breed in itself. I had this 3 a.m. experience, which I'll share with you. About 2.5 months ago, I woke up in the morning at about 3 a.m., as I normally do, and bolt upright. And I had this message very clear. And it said, Glenn, you need to go back and offer foundation membership to the Institute, which I hadn't done for several years. I offered it about 5 years ago. I got about 70 founding members and then I let it go. I just didn't do that anymore. I concentrated on working with those people. And this voice, I don't know where it came from or who it was, but they basically said, you need to go back and offer this out to people. That was my 3 a.m. experience. And of course, I went back, revisited all my tools, and here I am. We need you performing beautifully. Of course we do. We need everybody performing beautifully. That's why I'm offering this course. And this, of course, is a part of my humanitarian work. Now, I have a variety of projects of my own. The Quantum Conscious Leadership Program, the Institute, is a core part of that. And that's why I'm here offering it. So what are the benefits? The benefits are extraordinary if you act now and join us. Clarity and focus, very important. Confidence, certainty and competence. Safety and security in your own confidence, certainty and competence. To become a sovereign being, to live in peace and abundance, and to have your unique path. And your path is unique. It's like no other. Nobody can tell you what to do. We can certainly help you in how to get clarity around that and support you on how to do it, and what the offer is. But nobody can tell you what your pathway is. It's your unique pathway, and we help people to discover that. Now, if you don't act, there's this risk of sudden wealth syndrome, uncertainty, insecurity, and stress, which most people are already in, purposeless unfulfillment, disconnection, being dispirited, and loss and devastation. Now, that's a pretty bleak story, isn't it? But I look around, this is what I'm seeing everywhere. People are in a state of absolute desperation, and we want to help people to get out of that state. And that's what I'm here to do, to be honest. So now the big question is, are you okay to move into the RV and leadership of your life, money, and projects without the lifetime support that I'm offering you here today with the Quantum Conscious Leadership Institute? The choice is yours. If this resonates with you, then I would welcome you to join me. If it's not resonating with you, no problem. I wish you well on your journey and hope you find what it is that's going to best help you. And so the investment of 749 USD, it may seem a stretch now, but once you get through this RV, it is literally chicken feed. It's a drop in the ocean. It's pennies. And you'll look back and say, this is probably the best investment I've ever made. And Glenn, why did you charge so little? Well, I know my market. I understand the market, and I understand that people are struggling for finances. And so I've made it as accessible as I could possibly make it. And there just simply must be an exchange of value. Offering people things for nothing. I've done that before, by the way, and I've failed dismally because it's like sudden wealth syndrome. They simply do not value it and they don't use it. People need to exchange energy. And of course, there's the energy of money here.